Hey y'all, welcome to another video from Vensire Studios. In today's video I'm going to be going over certain things that I had actually swapped on over to get things working a little better for certain things that I needed. So let's get this started. Before we get this started, I just wanted to go over the previous video which I had done, which was how it had been going for me with using Manjaro for several weeks on Linux to do video editing on it, and the things I had to do in order to get it all working properly with Davinci Resolve. You can find that linked in the corner over here, or in the description below. Now, let's get this going. Now, there's a reason why this video is called The Swap. That is because I swapped on over from Manjaro Linux over to Kubuntu 18.04, and there are honestly now several reasons for it. The first one would have to be to get the deck link working. So let me corner myself. So now with me down here, I can open it up so you can see everything that happens on screen. And you can see from right here, Decklink Mini Monitor 4K is fully operational. And it requires, I believe it was kernel 2.0 for Linux to work properly. Now I think there are some janky ways to get it working, like say on Manjaro, which I had been using, but it requires like code change inside the scripting files or whatever else, and I'm honestly not going to go that deep. I'm decent at doing certain things in Linux, but when it comes towards like messing around with those, you might as well hand me a screwdriver and I try like working on, I don't know, a large hadron collider. You watch everything go. And that is the reasoning why I went to 18.04. Well, one of them anyway. There's really two reasons altogether as to why I did this. The second one is I upgraded my graphics. I went from an EVGA GTX 1070 to an AMD Radeon 7 graphics card. Namely because of editing Blackmagic Raw, I was running into GPU issues with using too much memory, and the 8 gigabytes on there was not enough, so I needed to swap over towards something more like the Radeon 7, which had 16. I caught it for what I would consider a really good deal. It was XFX on Best Buy of all sites for $550. I couldn't justify it being around $750 when I was originally looking at it several months back. But with that kind of a price at $550, I was like, yeah, I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to use it. And with that came another problem. The primary problem was the drivers. The open source drivers and OpenCL being installed before, Davinci Resolve would launch without an issue originally. But with Davinci Resolve 16, well, this is an earlier one I tried recording that didn't go over so well. But either or, the open source drivers with OpenCL weren't enough anymore. It wasn't loading Davinci Resolve. It would start to load, but then it would just crash flat on out. And I was kind of annoyed with that, obviously, because I want to be able to just use it on here. So the simplest solution would be to go to an operating system with the proper pro drivers and things that would work well, and Ubuntu is rather easy to install on with the 18.04 long-term service drivers that are currently from AMD on there to get the pro ones on there, and that's why I got on over, other than of course the deck link. But as you can see, it's all loaded up. I even tried some HDR testing. I'm doing something wrong. Or just something's not working right, maybe with the deck link, but I'm gonna guess it's not the deck link that's the issue. It's probably on my end. Either or, I still can't do it properly. So let's load on to this. This is a video I'm going to be getting up on the channel in the next few days in a new series called Pure Play. So come back and check that out if you when you have the chance and whatnot. But this is H.265, and it plays without any issues after changing a couple things. That is important. Especially with the AMD graphics, there were several things that had to be changed. First of which was inside the preferences itself. Now, if you go down here, usually this is checked to be on. Don't have this on with AMD graphics, at least not with the Vega 7, because then you're going to get pixelated green mess whenever you're trying to do anything, and it just looks absolutely ugly. What you need on, though, is the GPU for compute. This will help things run smoothly, and things ran smoothly for me after I rebooted. When I initially did this before compute was on, H.265 was playing like a hot mess. It was just skipping all over and I had issues with it, and I didn't know why. Even with the compute on, it was bothering me. I did a full restart and it's all smooth now, as you can just see from right on here. Well, after a few seconds on this scene anyway. But yeah, turn that off so I can make sure that's working properly in OBS. I had it full screen on my main ProArt monitor. Right now, I'm kind of finagling around. I have a side project with the Astoria Filmmakers Club, which you can check out, linked in the description below as well. And it's got some mini-sodes that we're doing on basically what's become the new normal for a lot of people with, you know, on the unfortunate stuff with the virus going around. But it seems to work smoothly. I still need to transcode audio, of course, which brings me to another gripe, because if I'm using compute and it was running without the compute before from the graphics card, you can see that Davinci Resolve is fully running, H.264, H.265 are fully playing on it. That means it was able to play it via software also, meaning Davinci Resolve has the licenses for them. But it doesn't have the license to use AAC audio. Just these tiny things. Just these tiny things that can drive somebody a little crazy. Another thing that'll drive somebody a little crazy is with the AMD graphics card, you also then cannot export an H.264 H.265. Hence the why it doesn't show the hardware decoding for H.264 and H.265 as well. I'm hoping the next version of Davinci Resolve will have this. The only thing I can export really right now is DNxHR, I guess you could say, and those files are kind of massive. I mean, I always use Handbrake to re-encode anyway for a smaller file size, but the whole point of H.264 and H.265, at least if you have an optimal quality video, is then you're not going to have to worry about quite such a large file if you don't need it. Either or, it's little nuances that'll hopefully be changed within the next version of Davinci Resolve. Another thing to cover. I removed the thing called Discover, that ugly package manager that comes with Kubuntu, and I honestly installed the standard software snap package thing from basic Ubuntu, and I installed Flatpak from on top of there. The reason for it is I was just getting these error updates that weren't truly there, and it was a hot mess is the best way to kind of describe it. I mean, you could always use Terminal to install the Flatpaks or anything else. I'd rather just have at least a basic software front end that I can use. So that is how I'm currently running it on here. So if you ever install 18.04, get rid of Discover. Install at least the GNOME software one instead, and it'll save you a lot of hassle and problems. Other than that, I'd say that really wraps up this video. There's nothing else I can massively really think about to cover right now other than going over the generic software, which I want to do in a full other video, which will also cover going over setting up the code on this, because I haven't found a lot of YouTube videos that go over FFmpeg directly. I mean, I'm sure there's generic ones going over how it does it, but like I convert the audio only, no video reconversion, just get what I need and get it over so I can use it in Davinci Resolve. I'm gonna have to do the same with this audio being recorded here with OBS, and then I can go over what other programs I generically use other than like just Blender or whatnot, and why I use these with Linux and things, and why I'd use them kind of more towards a prosumer way as well. That could help you pull away from certain things on Windows that you might be stuck on. So, I'm done rambling. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section below. And, as always, if you like the video, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and I hope you all have a good day.